Oh my God, I feel like I'm falling apart here. Yeah, it's been a long couple of days. So, but it feels good to be home. Work's been like seriously busy right now, like seriously busy. And so let me just kind of like get you up to speed. Okay, so obviously I ended up going out over the weekend. I only went Saturday night. My girlfriend's had a room, but I could just tell things were off, and so I'm just kind of dealing with that right now, if you can't already tell. But I do want to answer the question about my trip to London. No, but it's okay to meet people, you know. Um, I have another question for you. Are you trying to tell me that I need to buy fake viewers? Because I get it from a business standpoint that, excuse me, people will, if they see that you have a lot of followers, then they'll want to follow you, right? Because some people are followers, right? Not everybody's a leader. So I don't really I don't think that's really me, but I get what you're saying. And I will look into it and I'll think about it. But I also did start doing some research on like how to get verified. And so let me ask you this. You can only like as one person get verified or as a brand get verified. So would Envision Dream be able to get verified and would Sherry's Dreamcatcher get verified? And then if you do it on Instagram, you have to also apply on Facebook. But I think you need a lot more followers. But then when I was reading all of the information on how to get verified, you don't necessarily need to get a lot of followers. But I don't know. Like I'm looking into it because then I'm like, okay, well, what if I did do that? What if I did do that? And then I was able to increase my watch time and my followers and all of this kind of stuff, just to kind of boost myself if I really wanted to. Then I decide that I don't want to pay monthly for it. You know, I just, I'd have to really look deeper into that and research that because I'm just like, is that what you're telling me to do? Because I just I just feel that for someone to be verified, they should, be a lot higher than me, and that's not me being like low confident or low self esteem. It's just I haven't put out enough information or enough data for that to happen. That's just what I see, but I mean, it doesn't mean that it can't happen. And then I look at all these other TikTokers and other Instagrammers or Facebookers or YouTubers or whatever, and I just kind of look at their pages and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I wonder how they did it. And then I look and I see like they have their niche, and it's like, yeah, I know, like, but I feel as though like if I get stuck into that, then how am I really truly enjoying it? Because there's only so far you can go with it, right? I like the flexibility of being able to be myself and fall within whichever category of whichever segment I have. I don't know, that's just me. So, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I came home Sunday. My husband's like, I had a bad morning. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, trying to tell me that he's been coughing and everything. So then he goes to take a drink or a sip of his water, and it just gushes out, literally gushes out of the whole that's within the hole, and then the water is like coming all down his chest but then into his lungs, and I am panicking because I'm like, that does not look normal. I know that the prosthetic has to be changed every so many weeks, and it starts with a slow leak, but I guess every now and then you have faulty prosthetics and it's almost like a faucet going on, and when you drink it just comes all the way out. So he was unable to eat or drink, and I remember that they had this plug that they showed me how to plug the prosthetic, so I had to learn how to do that, which I was very proud of myself for learning how to do. However, when I used the tool to stick it into the hole, I don't know how else I can describe it, but he's got a hole here, and then he's got another hole that has the prosthetic in it. And then there's like a hole for the air to go through the prosthetic. And in order for him to drink or eat, that has to be closed. And it was open. And I didn't know if I had to bring him to the emergency room, but where I live and the hospital that's closest to me, like 5 minutes down the road, they're not skilled with this stuff. So I had to call Mass General. Mass General, the doctor called, and I was like, where do I go in the event of an emergency? And she said, oh, you can just come to Mass General. And I'm like, you're 2 hours away from me. I was like, I'm in Southern Rhode Island. I if I couldn't get this plug in, which I was able to get in, what would I do? And she said, oh, well, then you could go to Rhode Island. So Rhode Island Hospital is about an hour from us, which is not 2 hours. But the doctor was stating that we were supposed to have another doctor in Rhode Island that we could go to in the event of an emergency. So I was able to get the plug in. Mind you, when I try to explain it to people, I'm like, once it's on the tool and you get it in the hole to plug it, then you got to take the tool off. But when you go to take the tool off, it pulls the plug out anyways. So then I'm in there sticking my fingernail into the hole that's within the hole and the tool just so that I could put the plug in. So then I'm like, all right. So then we asked the doctor, can he sleep with the plug in? She's like, yeah. So basically when you have the plug in, he can't put his filters in. So it gets all mucusy and all this shit. And I'm like, what the fuck, right? And the earliest I could get him in was today. And this happened on Sunday, right? So, fine. Stayed home. And let's see. Monday, Tuesday, and yesterday he had to come to my office because he's like, are you with someone? He's like trying to text me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm with a client. He's like, the plug came out. I'm like, what the fuck? So they come to the office, and I'd have to tell my client what was going on, and then I'd have to take him in my office and put the plug back in. So that has kind of been like the last couple of days on top of working like a mad woman and going to work at like 7, 8 in the morning. And then yesterday I had to bring the dog to the vet because he needed his second dose of antibiotics for his ear infections. And he had 2 more shots to get. So he's good to go, so I can go away if I need to travel. Okay. So today I left work. As soon as we started heading up to Boston, he's like, I'm going to be able to eat after they fix this. He's like, I want to eat. I'm like, okay. So we stopped in Providence at Pito's. He wanted some Dominican, and we filled up, and then we drove to Boston. Then we were in Boston, and they fixed it, and then obviously you can tell, like, I'm a mess. And then we were stuck in traffic, like bumper to bumper traffic. So anyways, I wanted to show you, this is the plug that I have to use with a tool to plug the prosthetic that is in the hole that's in the hole. So, let me see. This is the device that he's got a hole where he can breathe because he has a new trachea, right? But then there's another hole there, and in that hole is this. This is the prosthetic. And I was trying to plug this hole. Either this hole or this hole. Hold on. Let me look. Yeah, so, sorry. They cut this off because they use a tool to insert this. So once this is in, they trim this and the hole is here, and I have to take the plug and I have to use a tool and my finger to insert this plug to block it so that he's able to eat or drink. This tab stays on it and it sticks out of his other hole. And so I have to take other tape. Right now we used a Band-Aid right now to like hold this in place onto the side so that he can maneuver, sleep, do things. And that way it doesn't fall out. So that's kind of been like my learning curve with this prosthetic. We have another appointment on the 27th and we're going to meet with the surgeon again. So I felt better today when I went because I was like, listen, it was our first time having to deal with water gushing out and going into his lungs. And you have to understand, like, if you have water going into your lungs, he was like pretty much drowning himself. So the on-call physician immediately had him go, told him to stop and told me to put the stopper in, meaning told him to stop drinking and told me to put the stopper in, and then had to prescribe an antibiotic because don't want him to get pneumonia, right? It's just these tiny little things that I feel like we take for granted, you know? And then it just pisses me off even more with the whole incident over the weekend, being like, how can you be so petty? Like, how can you be so petty? And it's like, you think that I don't pick up on that shit, and it's like, whatever. I just don't have time for it. I think they know. But I'm just doing me. And I told my husband about it, and he was like, Sherry, he's like, you just got to do you and let them do them. And he's just like, that's it. And I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, because they're not in my shoes. They have no idea what I'm going through. I've always been compassionate and concerning and uplifting and loving and caring. And I just kept thinking about it. And I was like, I can't be toxic and think about that stuff, you know? So anyways, to get back to the plug, because see, I've got my Dana-Farber thing on. It says 4 mm, right? So I'm like, oh, I have to order you another one in case you lose this one or something happens. So I'm talking to the doctor about it, and he's like, oh, no, you don't order it from Atos. Who do I order it from then? Like, I don't know what size he needs. He's like, oh no, well, the prosthetic we put in is Inline, not Atos. But I said, we use the filters from Atos. He's like, yes, I know. So now I have a prescription for plugs, and I have to call another company tomorrow to get them on order. I do not know how someone in their 70s or 80s can do all this. I really don't know. I am like floored with it. Like, I just don't understand. In regards to my technological what do you want to call it? Delays, right? So I noticed that with my lives, every time I do a live, unless I share it, it's not there. So it like when I was trying to do my live when I was at the party the weekend before, or when I was trying to do my live in the garage over the weekend, like I had lost service. Now, in the past, I was able to go to my archives and it would be there, but it's not there. None of them are there. And I was like, oh, I felt like I had great content, something that I could like try to use with the Power Director editor, and it's not there. So I don't know where else to get it because it's not there. So I ended up going into my settings to make sure that it's on my settings. So basically, if I share this video, it'll be there and then I can do like some cut and edit. But if I just close out of this without sharing it first, then I can see if it went into my archives. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I did meet with the production company this week as well. That was on Tuesday. And we were talking. He was asking me some questions. Again, this had to do with work. And then I started talking to him about some of the creative projects that I've been working on. And when I told him about Sherry's Dreamcatcher, Complicated Beauty, Envision Dream, and Dating Sherry, he absolutely loved it. And I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. But he was like, no, he's like, I absolutely love it. Like, and maybe that's different because like, if you're an artist or a creator, you can support someone's creativity a little bit more because you understand that weirdness, you know what I mean? But to me, I don't even think it's weird. I think it's normal, like to me. So it would be interesting what videos. He did interview me and I was kind of put on the spot and I wasn't ready for the interview, but we were a pilot program and so I said, okay, I'll do it. And then he just asked me questions and it felt kind of strange. Like he had the lighting up in front of me and he had the tripod and the camera and I don't know. I was like trying to be cautious on what I said because I was speaking for my work versus for myself in reality. So I don't know. I have no idea what the interview is going to look like. I have no idea if it's even going to be out there. I just know that it was put together. But I like the fact that I was able to meet somebody else that I can talk to and just try to like kind of bounce things off of so I can try to figure out how to do my own thing. So I was telling him, I said, listen, I have all these ideas. I said, but when it comes to technology and it comes to recording and filming and everything like that, I do a lot of it on my phone. But I have my editor on my computer and I'm just having this issue of getting it from my phone into my editor. And he was like, well, do you have AirDrop? And I'm like, no, because I don't have an iPhone. I have a Google Pixel, right? The Google Pixel is so that you can do videos with YouTube and Google. It's Google, right? So that's what I have. I have an iPhone for work. I mean, I don't really like iPhones. My kids have iPhones. My husband has an iPhone. I've always been more of a droid like in, what is it? Star Wars. And so, yeah, obviously you can tell I'm tired, but anyways, it's just been a long week and I'm happy that he has his prosthetic now. He can eat and drink. It's a learning curve. What else? Yeah, so as far as technology, I'm still kind of in that aspect. In regards to like being verified blue, I was also reading too, like I'd have to take my YouTube link down because it doesn't like you to cross social media either. And I guess that has to do with YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram and TikTok. So I was kind of researching that too. So I guess I'm going to have to learn how to do some reels in regards to YouTube and trying to create content there. I am going to, I know, I'm just going to get fat because I'm just going to have to take my date out to restaurants. It can get expensive, but, you know, and maybe it'll be cool to try different restaurants. What else? I've been missing my sip and think chats. I'm hoping we're almost to a stable foundation where we can start working on the growth mindset again. But then, you know, that all comes with due time as well. I could do some love bombs and some pop affirmations so we can stay positive and loving. I'm thinking about that too. Just trying to clear my head, really. Literally just trying to clear my head. I do this because it feels so good. Do you know that when you do this, it stimulates your hair follicles in your head and it stimulates your brain? And oh God, it feels so good. Oh my God. Seriously. It's like the only way to really get me. Really. Oh, I could just sit for hours and have someone rub my head. Oh, I love it. It's like my favorite. What else? Oh, back to YouTube, right? So then I was seeing this thing where it's like, I gotta create 100 videos. And I'm sitting here like, if I do that and commit myself to that, then I have to make content. I have to create the content. You have to have the content in order to put it on YouTube. So, it's kind of where my mind is. But I don't know. It's like it's like you can't really use TikTok from what I'm getting because of the copy claims with the music and stuff. But then if you do shorts, you can use the music that's in the shorts. I don't know. I have to research all this shit. I'm drinking Canada Dry cranberry ginger ale, which is making me gassy. My husband drinks that because they always tell him to burp, and when he burps to talk. That's part of his physical therapy. Lovely. The things we take for granted. Friggin' burp. You know? Then I met with a woman today who gave a speech and presentation on organization. And I actually thought about hiring her. She's got a 3-hour minimum. And I'm like, God, it's taking me forever to organize. So at this point, do I just pay someone to do it? You know? It's like, yeah, I could do it myself, but every time I get the chance to do it myself, I'm too tired to do it. So instead of complaining about it, do I just hire her for 3 hours and get it over and done with? I don't know. What's your peace worth? Peace of mind. And the more you declutter the space around you, the more creative you can be. because then you don't have like all that stress and everything in cluttering your mind too. So if things are cluttered around you, then your stress level goes up and your mind becomes cluttered. I mean, listen to me. I sound like a clutter box. I'm just clutter, clutter, clutter. I don't even want to say clutter because then I'm going to be like, why am I putting this out into the universe? No, declutter, declutter. I truly believe that what you put out comes back. So I have to think about the words I want to use. So I don't know. I could try it. I could try to get, Instagram and Facebook verified, but I believe I would have to do that under Sherry's Dreamcatcher. Positive affirmations with Sip and Think. I mean, isn't it verifying that it's a real person and it's authentic? So, and I guess it says if you get denied, you'd have to wait 30 days to reapply. I could do that. Yes, I could do that. I mean, they say what? You get 10 no's before you get a yes? Or is it 5 no's before you get a yes? If I had to look at my sales data. But I just want to make sure that before I apply that I have everything, all my ducks in a row, all my T's crossed, and all my I's dotted with a heart. No, all my T's crossed and my I's dotted. But at the same token, I'll never know if I don't try. So I guess that's what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to try. Just going to have to try. And if I fall off the bike, I'm going to have to get up and try again. Because unlike other people, I have 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, a mouth, 2 hands, 2 feet, 2 legs, 2 arms. I'm fortunate. So just be grateful for what you have. It's those little things that people take for granted. Who was it? I was talking to somebody. Who was I talking to? Oh, I was talking to somebody about, I can't even remember. It had to do with getting their eyes checked. If I don't get my eyes checked, Cheryl, if I don't get my eyes checked, then I won't be able to see. Oh, I know who it was. I know someone that needs to get their shots in their eyes so that they can see. And so it's very important that they get to the eye doctor. And if they don't get to the eye doctor, they're not going to be able to see. And they said to me, Cheryl, I've gotten to a point in my life where if I can get a shot to see, I'm going to make sure I get a shot to see. Because the last thing I want to do is go blind and not be able to see with everything else that's going on. And I said, okay. I said, that makes sense. Yeah. So don't take the small things for granted. It's almost like if you lose hearing in one of your ears or hearing in both of your ears. It can be very difficult to do the things that you normally had done before, so you have to learn a new way to do them. And as we age and deteriorate, we're going to start losing different things, you know? We're going to lose our mind. We're going to lose our eyes. We're going to lose our hearing. We're going to lose our ability to walk. We're going to be able to lose our ability to go to the bathroom on our own. We're going to lose the ability to do a lot of things as we get older. So if you can do them now and they're things that you want to do, then do them. And nobody should tell you not to do it because they are not you and they do not live in your shoes. So that is my message today. Enjoy your evening.